We're going to start it off with Kimberly, who's on the line in Clarks Summit, Pennsylvania, rather. Kimberly, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hello, how are you?
I'm living the dream, Kimberly. How are you today?
I'm okay. I was just calling. I'm 56, and I was just wondering if that would be too old to switch jobs at this point in time.
No, I don't see why it would be. Why do you think that it is?
Because where I'm at, I feel like I would never be able to go start somewhere else. I'd have to take a pretty big pay cut.
Okay, well, what does that mean?
Go someplace else and start.
Well, how do we know that? How do we know that?
I don't know. I'm okay.
Well, let's just see if we can poke some holes in that because it's worth a try. So you are doing what right now, and how much are you making?
Property manager, and I'm making $84,000.
Good. Okay, very good. What would you like to do?
I guess that's what I'm unsure of.
Oh, so if you're unsure of it, then there's no way for you to say what you just said, which is, I'd have to start over, which might be the case, but we can start over while staying in this current role. So there's always a way to start. So let's focus on what it is you'd like to do. Because I still think you have a good idea, but you're afraid to say it or you don't know how to say it because maybe you're thinking of a title of the role, and then that locks you up. I want to know where you really are. So why don't you just blurt it out? Don't worry about how it sounds. Take a guess as to what it is you think you would like to do that you're not doing now.
I guess I'm not afraid to work, put it that way. I'm not afraid of putting in what I need to. I guess I just feel overloaded and stressed. Like I just feel like there is too much not rules, but I don't know how to explain it.
I get it.
It's just too much being dumped on me, and it's not.
Let me ask you this.
They make it harder to do the job than what it needs to be, put it that way.
I agree. So what if I relieved that? Because you know what it is. What if I relieved all that extra work? There's too much. In fact, you're feeling burned out because you have become overwhelmed. There's too much on your plate. It's almost like you're drinking from a fire hose. Is that correct?
I guess that's a good analogy.
Okay, so here's the point. What if I turned that fire hose off and you were able to drink at your pace and do the role the way that you know it can be done, and it doesn't require all that other overwhelmed nonsense? Would you still enjoy it?
I think so, because I do like what I'm doing. I just don't like it in the fashion that I'm doing it at this point in time.
Have you talked to your leader about this?
Not directly, but you mention it, but you kind of get like, well, that's the way it is, suck it up and do it, buttercup.
Yeah, exactly. However, but there's two things. Number one, you have not had a direct conversation about it, a very clear, direct conversation, which you need to say, I really enjoy this role, but too much has been put on me, and it is beginning to overwhelm me, and I'm not going to be able to keep doing this. I just want you to know this because I'd like to stay here, but I'm not going to be able to keep this up. Now, if you were to walk away today, how would that leader feel? Would they try to keep you?
That's a big question mark in my mind because I don't know that. I know they tell me that I'm a valued employee, but if I were to leave, I don't know that they would try to keep me.
Okay, so here's the point.
That's my big question mark too.
I don't know. I know, and I think you're afraid.
Backfire on me.
Yeah, I think you're afraid. So here's what I want you to do. You just need to have a conversation to say, "Hey, I'm overwhelmed," and don't do it from a place of fear. Do it from a place of power. Don't tell them that you're thinking about leaving. Don't tell them that you can't keep it up. Just say, "Hey, this is beginning to be too much, and we've got to figure something out. There's got to be a better way." But come in with some solutions. Do you have 2 or 3 ideas that would help make it better?
Well, that's the thing. You think you do, but then all the policies and procedures that you have to follow, they keep changing those, which adds to the overwhelm
I get that. I get that. But I'm
position.
saying,
okay.
do you have a couple clear ideas that, hey, this policy, I understand why we did it, but it's actually causing this. I have another solution. Because if you can come to the table with how to actually help fix the problem, then the leader is going to be much more willing to do it. All they care about is that things are running well and you're helping them win. Am I right?
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
So come to the table with some solutions. And when you come to the table,
I don't have any of those.
well, but you do. If you sat down and said, how would you change it? You actually do know what you would do because you're the one who's actually having to carry it all out. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm trying to give you two options. Here's my point.
Okay.
One option is that you need to do what I'm telling you to do and have the conversation with the leader and try to come to the table with some solutions that will fix you being overwhelmed. That has to happen. Now, that's just one part of this. The other part of this is you go and you look for something that's very similar to what you do now, which you said you enjoy. Mine is being overwhelmed. Look for different types of roles in your area that are similar to what you're doing now, and go do your homework on them. See if they have a good culture. See if people are, spinning out of control there, or it's a much better vibe, much better rhythm, and go look for those opportunities while you are where you are. And let's just see if, in fact, you can replace that $84,000, because you're not starting over if you stay in the same industry, the same field, doing a similar role, because you are valuable. I want a property manager who has some maturity, and 56 is not old. I call 56 seasoned, experienced. So you have two things you've got to do there, okay? And that's what I want you to do. And I want you to pursue both of those paths at the same time, because we hope that leadership then makes some changes that you suggest, and they say, okay, I got that. We value you. We want to fix that. Or if they don't, you go, okay, now I know this is not the right place for me, but I know I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to look for other places to do that right thing. But here's the thing, folks. This isn't just a Kimberly issue. This is an issue for many of you that are listening in right now. You're afraid of having the difficult conversation. You're terrified. What if I go in and I say what's going on with me and I make some suggestions and they don't like it? Are they going to get rid of me? Probably not. But you go in there, and again, not with ultimatums, but with solutions, and explain the situation. And you do it with respect and humility and kindness, and then you'll be fine. This is not as scary as it seems. Folks, you have got to have these conversations. Number one, for the solution that you hope comes from it, or number two, the confirmation that it's time to move on. Don't let fear keep you from having the right conversation.